Hello and welcome back. I'm Beck Ferrier and this is Plant Powered Warriors, where we take full responsibility of our health, our energy, and our life. Today's topic, I want to talk to you about grief and the top 5 tips that I have had to deal with personally that has helped me through a lot of grief in my life. Before I get on to what I've actually experienced, I want to let you know that grief is different for everybody. Grief could be a loss of a loved one, it could be a relationship breakdown, it could be a loss of a friend or a fur baby, it could be the loss of a particular time in your life that you miss, a lifestyle that you used to have that you no longer have. So, grief is very different for everybody and it shows up very differently as well. It might come through as anger and frustration, sadness, emptiness, loneliness, numbness, disconnection. It shows up differently in everybody. And I want you to know that you need to take time to deal with what you're going through. I personally have gone through a lot of grief in my life. I lost my mum when I was 18 years old, when a doctor told her that cancer had spread to her lymphatic system and that she had 6 weeks to live. She believed that diagnosis and died 6 weeks later. And I know that you think the same as me. If only I knew back then what I know now, things could be different. But when things like this happen in our lives, it changes who we are. It makes us grow as a person. And sometimes gives you the push to do something different in your life and help others down the track. As sad as it was losing my mum and I was only 18, but I'm so grateful for what she taught me, because if those things didn't happen back then, I wouldn't be doing what I do now. I also lost my son, the old version of my son, when he was 24 in a traumatic brain injury. Something that I still have to deal with every day of my life. He's still with me. So grateful for that. But I do miss and grieve the old version of him, being able to talk and walk and communicate. So sometimes grief can hang around for the rest of your life. So you really need to find ways to deal with it. That same year that my son had his traumatic brain injury, I also lost my dad to cancer, apparently. He passed away in the December of the same year as my son had his accident. So that was a double whammy that year. And then the following year, losing fur babies, grieving my old life of what it used to be before my son's accident. So I do understand what a lot of you might be going through. So please stay tuned as I walk through some steps that might help you on your journey. I do believe there's 2 types of people, okay? When we're dealing with grief, that one person seems to need to be able to talk about their grief. They need to get it out. They talk about it all the time. And sometimes they live with it every single day and not letting it go. But they need to talk to someone. So those types of people do need to let out and express their grief. But we want to make sure that we're not sitting in it every single day for the rest of our lives. The other type of person is the type of person that needs to deal with it in their own mind. They're more reserved, they're more quiet, they sit back and they find their own time to deal with the grief in their own head. So it might be because they've had some kind of personal development in their lives and know how to process it, or it's just because they're completely different to the other type of person that needs to talk about it. So please don't think that because one person talks all the time and one person doesn't talk, that they're not both going through very similar situations or both going through grief. Tip number 1, allow yourself to feel it. Get in that emotion cry, let it out. Find your person or people that you can sit with and talk about it. Let them listen. They don't need to comment back. They just need to listen to what you're going through. Let it out. Sit in the shower if you have to and just cry. Let those emotions out of your body. Sometimes doing rebirthing workshops or some kind of sound healing, breath work, those kind of things can help as well. Tip number 2 is to move your body. Okay, we want those emotions to come out. Go for walks, stretch, rebound, get out in that sunshine, move your body. We don't want this grief to be stuck in your body. So finding ways to let it out, release that energy, and I truly believe these kinds of things can help. Tip number 3 is getting back to some just simple self-care tips. Making sure that you're drinking enough water, eating healthy foods, getting the rest that you need, getting the sunshine that you need, spending time outside, spending time with loved ones, curled up on the lounge with your pet. You know, these simple little things will help you get through each and every day. Tip number 4, doing some inner work, doing some personal development in your life, learning how to deal with emotions, learning how to deal with stress and all the things in life that you need to deal with. Sometimes it might be just taking time out for yourself, getting away, stepping outside of your normal daily routine. Personal development can be things like things you haven't learned before. So it could be working on learning something about nutrition. It could be learning about how the body works, how your mind works. All those things help you each and every day to get through life. Tip number 5, giving yourself time to reflect. This is what I have done personally over the last few years, is make sure that I book time away for myself. It might only be a couple of nights, it might be an actual week where I can get away from my daily situation where there could be a lot of grief every day, a lot of stress. I make sure I book those things in. There's an amazing retreat company that I go through all the time, and I book my weekends away. I book my weeks away. Because at those retreats, you do things like yoga and meditation, rebirthing workshops, breathwork sessions, sound healing. You have that connection and you hear stories from other people that have gone through so much trauma and grief in their life and how they've actually dealt with it. Meeting up with people like this can help you get through your own grief. I hope these tips have helped you. I want you to know that a part of healing isn't about getting over it. It's about learning how to carry it with you while still showing up for yourself in your life every day. Now, I want you to know there are people out there that will understand you, that will walk with you, that will be beside you. Look for those communities. Are you ready for support? If you're moving through grief right now and you're craving support, connection, and a space where you don't have to do this alone, I invite you to come inside Plant Powered Warriors community. This is where we go deeper with support, accountability, and like-minded women walking this journey alongside you. Come and be held, supported, and seen and heard. We have access tools, guidance, and real conversations. Give yourself the space to heal and grow. Join us through the link below, and I'll see you in there.